are you?" she asked, still not moving away. "Alive," he answered. That dimple pressed deeper, and he knew, if she wasn't wearing shades, he'd see her unusual light brown eyes dance. He'd made her eyes dance frequently back then, and he hadn't had to work for it. She just gave it to him, and often. "Em," a man's voice snapped. Deck's head came up, and Emmy moved slightly away, dropping her hands from him as she turned. They both looked at a tall, good-looking, well-built blond man, wearing a mountain man uniform of flannel shirt, faded jeans, construction boots, and jeans jacket, standing 3 feet away, scowling. Emmy shifted to the man, her dimple gone but her lips still tipped up. She wrapped a hand around his bicep and leaned into him in a familiar way that said it all about who he was to her. Deck felt that slice through him, too, but this time in a way that did not feel good. "Dane," she began, "this is an old friend, Jacob Decker." She threw a hand out Deck's way as she lifted her sunglasses to his face. "Jacob, this is Dane McFarland, my, boyfriend." Again, shocked as shit that Emmanuelle Holmes had a boyfriend, but not shocked this slim, stylish, stunning Emmy had one, Deck opened his mouth to offer a greeting, but McFarland got there before him. "An old friend?" Deck felt his body tighten at the man's terse tone as he watched Emmy's head turn swiftly and her shades lock on her boyfriend's face. He also noted her grin had faded. "An old friend," she stated firmly. McFarland, not wearing sunglasses, his were shoved up in his hair, took Deck in top to toe through a glower. He had the wrong idea. McFarland's eyes sliced to Emmy, and what he said next proved Deck right. "What kind of old friend?" It was the wrong thing to ask. Deck knew this, because even if a man had suspicions his woman just introduced him to an ex-lover, he should wait until they were alone to call her on it. He also knew this because Emmy's smile was not only gone, her face had grown slightly cold. "The kind I'd introduce to my boyfriend?" she replied on a question that didn't quite hide its sarcasm. Her smooth, alto voice, something among many things he'd always liked about her, having grown nearly as cold as her face. Emmy didn't take shit from her man. Another surprise. Dane's glower subsided. He started to look contrite, but none of the cold left Emmy's face, and Deck decided to wade in. "Let's start this again," he stated, offering his hand. "Dane, like Emmy said, I'm Jacob Decker, an old friend of Emmy's, just a friend from back in the day. Everyone calls me Deck." McFarland's eyes came to him, dropped to his hand, then back to his face when he took Deck's hand. He squeezed, and he did it hard. A challenge, a competition. His ludicrously strong grip saying either he didn't like his girl having men friends no matter how they came, or that he'd noted Deck had 3 inches on him and likely 40 pounds, but he felt he could still take him. Or it said both. This guy was a dick. He was also a moron. Just with the difference in their sizes, any man would be smart enough not to issue that kind of challenge or think he could best Deck. But the fact that those 40 pounds Deck had on him were all muscle, and McFarland couldn't miss it, made him more of a moron. And Deck did not like that for Emmy. Unable to do anything but, he squeezed back, saw McFarland's flinch, felt his hand go slack in reflexive self-preservation in order to save his bones getting crushed, and his point made, Deck let the man's hand go. McFarland flexed it twice before shoving it into his pocket. Emmy missed this. She was looking up at Deck. "What are you doing in Gnaw Bone?" she asked. "Could ask you the same thing," he returned. "I live here now." Another shock. Her family was in Denver, and they were tight. She didn't have a shit ton of friends, but they were in Denver too. And she was the kind of woman he thought would